All right, this is my idea. This is how you could change the U.S. government. The Senate. Now, I think really this is how it would work out. You focus on the Senate. But it's also a way to, if you wanted to get rid of the bicameral system and have more of a just straight democratic sort of body. And so conceivably, my model could also work in a unicameral, I believe you could call it, unicameral form of government.
Yeah.
So you have all the representatives who are elected, and based on whatever representation you want. So conceivably, it could just be a House of Congress or a House of Representatives. So 400, however many people. They all have an equal vote. There are different areas of the government each will be responsible for. The thing is, you have selection based on lot or selection based on progress. So it's like either each representative is given a number, and what happens is that day-to-day operations, they go through the book. So literally, one person is responsible for one thing at a time.
Yeah.
So who conducts Congress for that day? Whoever is the next ballot. They are picked. Wait, there's more. Now they're picked, and they run Congress for the day.
Yeah.
So they oversee, the progress, and they make sure that everything's done according to a certain, style or system. So this is the base idea. So everybody is equivalent, right? Everybody can do the same job. I'll get into the particulars later.
There are some countries that do this where one party serves for 6 months and then they switch.
Yeah.
In fact, the European Union is run like that. They're rotating.
Okay. Now, what you have happen is the Congress comes together. They speak. Somebody will propose an idea. It has to be supported, and then you put it to a vote. Now,
it sounds like
wait. Now, if it's voted into action, a member of Congress is selected to oversee that bill. So they become sort of like the president of that bill. They are basically deemed an executor of that bill. They're given such a budget to accomplish the goal of this thing. So in a way, there is no, because I say it's like, you do one thing at a time. Or each representative can only dedicate themselves to one thing.
Yeah.
They can provide advice for other things. They can shoulder other responsibility, but as long as they're in office, and as long as whatever tasks they're given is given, they're going to hold it for indefinitely. So it's like you need a Secretary of War. Whoever wishes to, part of the way you could do it is you don't have an election. You have it goes by lot.
Right.
It goes either by lot or by progression. So it's like whoever is next on the roster, they're given Secretary of Defense.
Well,
now, but here's the thing: if they feel that person does not deserve the position, it can be asked for a nomination or asked to put to a vote, and then you select somebody else. Or so people will basically nominate each other for that position. So it's okay that somebody can want the position, but if anything bad ever comes of the fault, it's like, well, you wanted this position and something bad came out of it. Therefore, you need to be held responsible for this decision. So that's where and a court can come into play. What happens is, so basically, somebody can serve as Secretary of Defense, either by chance or by vote. Somebody can serve as Secretary of the Interior. Somebody can serve as Secretary of the Exterior, so to speak. And somebody could serve as
out of this elected Congress,
out of this this representative body. And now, if there's different bills that are passed, say we need we need somebody to basically oversee Homeland Security. We don't know how long this position is going to last. We're now instituting it. Somebody needs to basically be in charge of it. We go to the roster. So, up comes the roster. Now, the guy in the roster can...
Sky, there's a basic problem with everything you described.
What's that?
It seems like it does away with the committee system, and...
it makes it more of a democratic...
Right now, people are assigned to committee, like you have medical power scientific committee. You assign the people who are elected who are, medical doctors or scientists.
what it does.
So you bring your expertise into the decision making.
But no. What you do is you purposely assign people, and they have to make the right decisions for that for the task they're assigned to. If the guy who's elected, because remember, the system is flawed in that if you try to give authority to one person, 9 times out of 10 you're going to get the right guy, but there's that one you're going to get a guy that doesn't know what they're doing, or that will make the wrong decision. That it will slowly. No, stop! I'm recording. No, listen. No, but the knife. Yeah, whatever. But
when he cuts his finger.
No, I haven't seen that. But what I'm saying is that if you feel that you are insufficient, even though you got to that position by chance or by lottery, or like either by lottery or by vote, which means that you are deemed you are supposed to be capable of handling that position. If nobody challenged it, they say, okay, that's the thing. What you do is, if you know you need to succeed, you are automatically put in charge of a committee, which actually runs the thing. So, you are assigned to the position of Secretary of Defense, but it's actually a body of generals who do everything. But you are the commander-in-chief for them. You basically decide, how to proceed. So for a war effort, this, that's what happens. Like whoever is, picked by chance or whoever is voted into that position is assigned, as Secretary of Defense, and they oversee the war effort. If the country feels that the guy who's assigned to Secretary of Defense is doing a bad job, you vote him out of office, you replace him. Just like that. It's, and... now what this does is it removes, or it strongly encourages the removal of political parties.
Local parties?
Of political parties.
Oh, political parties.
I think. I could be wrong. I mean, it would have to be run out of the model. But you understand the basic...
Parties are natural. Almost every democracy developed parties because you have commonality of interest.
Yeah, exactly. And that's in fact you're right. You have to have that because there are minorities. So you're still going to have political parties, but the thing is, everybody is going to be a lot more beholden for the job they do, not the party. They're not going to be beholden to exercise, what their party demands. So that way, it's kind of an out for political loyalty.
Well, if you consider parties a bad thing, I don't necessarily do.
No, they're not. But what I'm saying is that if your party is in disagreement with the populace or whoever, it's like basically, what it is that it's a forced responsibility. Yeah. That I'm put in a position where I need to oversee this position. I need to show success. Because because you can see like at the end of every year or at the end of your term. Wait! Stop! At the end of the year or at the end of your term, like whenever you complete, and you have progress reports and you have completion reports. 24. You are judged. People are going to, you're hauled before a committee, of the body electorate, and they judge you on your performance. If you perform poorly, or if you perform negligently, if basically, if they feel that you've done a bad job in your, what they assigned you to, you can be punished in whatever way. So that's my whole thing. What I'm saying is that if people are put in, if you give them a position, all the representatives a position, and you say, okay, it's your turn on the roster. You are to be in charge of this appropriations bill. You are to see that these assets are basically, appropriated into the government. And so you assign a guy to that. Or the guy is assigned to it based on the roster. Now the guy can decide. He can't be pressured in any way, but he can decide whether to take the position or not. If he thinks that, no, I don't deserve this position, it should go to somebody else, and he doesn't want to say who, he can just, I decline the position. And so he just removes himself, and it goes to the next person on the roster. If somebody proposes and it's seconded, then the position is put up to a vote, and then people can say, well, I would like to declare myself for this position. Who will support me? And then then it's a vote like that. So that way, if a person who is, good at something, they can be assigned to it. But it's the issue of like, well, how many positions do you have, and do you assign one to each person? And I think,
You wouldn't be able to get anything in the depth.
Well, no. I mean, you hold the position until the task is complete.